Good morning and welcome back to the Finca. We have some excellent news this morning. Our new camera is on its way and out for delivery today. So providing the courier can find us, we've got the phone waiting for that phone call. Providing he can find us, by tomorrow you should be watching much better quality videos and sound in particular. So fingers crossed. Well, the weather, what can we say? Today is another very heavy, close day. We have a big sand cloud hanging above us at the moment, and I'll show you in a little while what that means to us living off-grid. The next 5 days we've got severe weather warnings, temperatures of up to 44 degrees centigrade, that's 111 degrees Fahrenheit. And if this sand cloud sticks around also, it's going to be incredibly close and humid.
Yes, it's not pleasant at all.
No.
We are moaning about the weather again, you see. Yesterday, if you remember, I fixed the generator. I started up this morning, checked it, it's all fine. I filled up the remaining IBC. Actually, very nearly overfilled it. It's about a millimetre from the top. As I do this at times, you forget, don't you, get on with something else and you forget it's running. Distracted, that's the word. And so hopefully today, even though it's a bit murky and not super sunny, we are producing reasonable power. So hopefully we can get some of the water out of the deposit into our storage purification tank. So we'll see about that. There's no desperation. And if you remember yesterday, I made this. It's finished. The catch expansion tank for the solar hot water collector that lives on the roof. I'm going to get this in today, and yeah, hopefully we should save us a bit of pain. Keep having to top up the tank, and if we can get it to a level in here, we might possibly be able to get a visual inspection from down here of how it's doing. So that's one of my jobs. So as always,
yeah, crack on.
Enthusiastically in the heat. Also today we've been asked in the comments, thanks for all your fantastic comments by the way, keep them coming. We do try to read them all and we do try to answer everything. Sometimes we don't actually see them or get notified of them, which very occasionally it would seem. So if we don't, we're not ignoring you, we do apologise, but we do try and address them all. And Stephen asked what are our costs like living off grid. So we thought that might be an interesting thing to talk about. So we're going to chat about that a little later on this afternoon when it is baking hot and we can sit in the shade and waffle on about what it costs us to live off-grid on the Finca.
So, you may remember yesterday when Andy was fixing the generator, he had to dive for cover because it was going to rain. Well, we had about 30 drops of very insignificant wet stuff. However, it was full of sand, and this is what the solar panels look like this morning. I hope you can make that out. So, at the moment, we have a very grey day, again, very warm but very overcast, and obviously there's not much power going into the batteries at all, and this is making it worse. So that's my job first thing this morning, to get these cleaned. So let's crack on. So before and after, I hope you can see the difference. Should be working a bit more efficiently now, fingers crossed.
Don't you just love it when things go wrong? I've just been on the roof to offer up my tank, see how it lies on top, and the pipe that I bonded on has come off. I think it's because the tank was either a bit waxy or shiny. I didn't abrade it, so I've just re-glued it, abraded it all, give it a mad proper key, and I've stuck it again, so I'll come back to that in a bit. While I was up there though, I'm going to put a little block of wood under it just for it to sit on, because it's just a little bit high, and rather than having it resting on the pipe, I've got a tiny bit of contact adhesive left. We've actually got a big tub should this not be enough, but I'll get that stuck on as well. In the meantime, we said about comments earlier, and we've had a comment from, I'm sorry I don't know your name, asking about the septic tank and how to connect up to it and how to get through the thick stone walls with the soil pipe. So as we said, we're happy to, you know, give back a little and give you guys some help and advice if you need it. So we're going to show you how we did it. Essentially, the tank comes with the holes in for the inlet and for the outlet as well into the soakaway. It's like a big rubber flange in there. You can see on this image here, you can see it. This is us lowering it into the ground, and then there it is in the ground after covered up, and you can see we obviously left the flange exposed. And in this last image, you can see it all connected up, and we'll have a walk up in a minute and show you, because where that connection is, there's also a charcoal filter breather valve that allows the tank to breathe, but it stops all the smells coming out. You may remember we had a wasp nest in that 10 flies is back in that a week or so ago, causing us problems. The other part is, how do we get through the stone walls? Well, we're going to have a look at ours. Right, have you got your pen and paper handy? Your gradient on your soil pipe, as I understand it, should be between 2.5% and 9%. So that's your fall in a metre between 2.5 and 9 centimetres. Any less than this, and you won't get enough flow to wash the solids away. Any more than that, and it's too steep, and the liquid will run away, leaving your curry still there and cause a blockage eventually. I usually aim for about 5%, which is 5mm fall in every metre. So that's, which is just about what this is. As for coming through your wall, you just need a big Kango hammer. You've probably seen that in other videos, and basically just, if you can see there, that comes out, just make a hole bigger than the wall, than the one that you need. We've still got some stones here. We've not actually put that back yet. We've just put the stones in to keep the stray cats out, or the stray cats that were here before we moved ours in. So we'll have a look at the outside of that. So this is where it comes out. There's a bit of concrete stuff and stones over the top of that, and then that just runs underground, same angle again. And if you come over this way, this is the one that comes out from what's going to be the main ensuite bathroom in the house as well. We're actually running a pumping station because our septic tank's uphill, which is not the best solution, but it's the only one we could find, because we just couldn't get it any deeper, because it was like solid rock. The first one we looked at over there, that comes from the upstairs loo and the new loo, the bathroom we've just done downstairs. That's 90mm pipe that feeds into, I think it's 125 comes in, and I think this is 110 going into there. I think the connection into the tank, into our tank, certainly is 110mm. So we're going to have a walk up and have a look at that. So this is what you just saw in that last image, all finished off. Well, as finished off as it's going to be for now. That's the actual top of the tank, and this is that breather you saw on that last photo, the pipe coming in, and this is the breather, so the tank can breathe without getting smells. It's the charcoal thingy filter. Further on down there is where the soakaway is, and it's a new technology soakaway. You just have a trench and you cover it with like plastic, I don't know, domes with geo cloth on them to stop any earth coming in, and that's supposed to be equivalent to like meters and meters of underground soakaway. So far it's been in a couple of years, works perfectly. Oh, and yes, we did it all ourselves. We do everything ourselves. On the way back, I'm going to have a look at, see if we've got enough power coming in at the moment. It's quite sunny, to get some water pumped, hopefully, into the main storage tank. So power, we're pulling in 1.2 kilowatts. The batteries are at 27.4 volts. So same again, we can run this for an hour or so, and we'll get some water in our tank. It's down to 4,000 litres at the moment, so we want to try and get 1,000 out of the deposit and into here. Let's get on with it. So to fill up our storage tank, we've actually got a pipe in place underground that runs straight in. It fills quicker than the IBCs because the pipe's a bigger diameter rather than a little hose pipe. God, that's red hot. And it's not got to lift it quite as high. It's the lift as well, which is a big effort for the pump. So all we do, open that valve that runs into the house and plug our pump back in. The dodgy extension lead. So just remember, we need to open this valve as well. You can see the water coming in through the filter. We filter it going in, try and keep it as clean as possible. It's less work for these filters to do when it comes back out. You can see that's 4,000 litres there, and we're going to stick 1,000 in it also. And if we go over 5, we know it leaks, so we don't want to lose any. So we'll just wait for that to do and go and get a spot of lunch.
Another question we've been asked down in the comments is how much it costs us, what our outgoings are on a monthly basis living here at Finca. Obviously there are the same costs that other people have, like clothing and insurances and tax on the car, fuel for the car. If we were off-grid or on-grid, those costs would be the same. I mean, you can tell that internet, yeah, I mean, with regards to clothes, you can see that we're both
bit of a fashion icon, I think. Make a bit of a fashion statement there.
Big followers of fashion, not. So yeah.
And the animals
and the well. Animals. We choose to have the animals, so.
You know, and whether we were off-grid or on-grid, still the costs are still the same. There's no. I think what the question was aimed at, if you agree, was the cost of living off-grid as opposed to living on-grid. The cost of the electric, the water, heating, that sort of thing. So, based on that, if that's not what you're asking, then
apologies and let us know.
And we'll do it again. It'll be ever so helpful today. Right, so the only difference really between off-grid and on-grid, as I said, we've got cars, poles, animals. I've got a little notes here I can refer to. Internet, you know, it's the same whether you're off-grid or on-grid. But the main things, as I just said, was the electric, the water and heating. I think if anyone can think of anything else, stick it in the comments. And again, the cost of our installation was less for both the water. I think the electric one is €5,500 to hook us up to the grid. Our installation, I think we've done a video on it a little bit ago, was about 4,500, was it?
Yeah.
So it was cheaper for us to go the off-grid route on that. Same with the water, I think they wanted 3,500, and the whole water setup, what's it cost us? 1,000, including all the pumps and max, I would say. Obviously it doesn't include the installation in the house, but even if you're on grid, you've still got to install it in your house. So the main cost of our electric ongoing off-grid is batteries. The batteries cost €3,200 in total, with an expected lifespan of between 5 and 10 years, depending on how they last longer if you deplete them less. So if we say 5 years, you're looking at €600 a year. 10, 12 quid a week, €12 a week. So, you know, our electric bills at the last place was 65, 70 euros a month, absolute minimum.
In the winter, and in the summer we have to have the aircon on, and it could be up to 120 euros a month.
So we're a pretty fixed cost at that. Apart from sometimes we've got to run the generator, which uses a litre an hour. And if we've got to run it for 4 or 5 hours a month, it's €5 a month. So yeah, you probably electric probably about 45, I would say 65 euros a month. If the batteries last 10 years, then half of that.
Half of that, yeah.
And that's why we try not to deplete them, and we'd rather run the generator €1 an hour, rather than let the batteries get too depleted anyway. So the next thing is the water. We've worked out we're using, including water and land, about 200 litres a day. This will decrease in the future because we've got a lot of young plants and we're planting a lot of things at the wrong time of the year.
We're using a lot of water on the land daily.
Yeah, and things that once they get settled in, like the asparagus and the artichokes, won't need anywhere near as much watering as they're getting now. Plus all the stuff will be growing in the winter where it does rain a bit. So 200 litres a day is 6,000 litres a month, or 18,000 litres, 3 months, €120 for 20,000 litres, given that we'll probably lose 2,000 litres in our leaky well. So yeah, €40 a month for the water. That's if it doesn't rain. We should be able to collect off the roof, statistically, by previous rainfall, about 30,000 litres a year, which is maybe even more once we've got other gutters up on the stable and things like that. Is it 36,000 litres a year over? Something
like that.
So again, if we do get our annual rainfall and we can collect it all, you're probably looking between 20 and €30 a month for our water. The filters are negligible, €10 every 3 months or something.
Yeah.
It's not there. And the other thing is the heating. At our last place, which was quite small, we'd get, depending on how severe the winter was, we'd have between 2 and 3 loads. We used to get mixed olive and fruit trees because it burns quite nicely. And it was about €120 a load, so between 240 and 360 euros a year for all our heating. We'd expect to do double that here.
Yeah, we've got a lot more fireplaces here, and it's a much
made
bigger
a lot of
property,
fires.
obviously.
We don't like to be cold.
However, we've been gifted some almond trees by the local farmer, so I'm sure there'll be a lot more of that.
Every year, you've probably seen at the back a trailer load of it.
Yeah.
We've got to chop it up ourselves, but we've got chainsaws.
No problem.
So, yeah, the other alternative is gas, which is a lot cheaper. We used to go for a gas bottle every
In the fire, yeah, it'd last us
couple of months.
A month, say month.
And it's like 15, 16 quid a bottle, €60 a bottle. So there's that alternative as well. It is far cheaper than wood, but it's not as nice, is it? Everyone likes
we
wood
like
fire.
our fire.
You can't toast your marshmallows on a gas fire.
And in the winter, when we have got fires going all day, Andy's designed the fire so that I can put a cooking pot on the top of the fire. So I'm saving gas that I'd usually be using on the stove. So win-win.
Plus the place is going to be so insulated. It already is a pretty good thermal mass with the thickness of the walls. So we don't know yet, but based on previous, that's where we're at. So I think that's it really. Yeah, we've got no mortgage, but we have got the cost of the restoration, of course.
Yes.
But if you're on grid or off grid, again, there's
You'd still have your house to maintain, if not restore. Yeah.
So as a bit of a summary, I think electric. What did we say? €40 a. Sorry, that's water.
Electric, 60.
Between 30 and 60 euros a month, depending on how long the batteries last, and a fiver for the generator, perhaps.
Yeah.
Compared to what we were paying in a very small house before, minimum 60, 70 euros a month, up to 100 plus. So yeah, half the cost of that. The water, 40 euros a month. If it doesn't rain, what we're paying down there, 60, 70 every 2 months. So probably similar. Hopefully a bit less here, because if it rains, we collect it.
Yeah.
and the heating, well, it's, you know, what do we reckon, 6 or 10 euros a week, 40 euros a month spread out over the year.
Won't know until we've spent our first winter here, obviously.
Well, a calculated guess.
But yeah, guess.
So, yeah, so we hope that helps. Hope you find it interesting.
If that wasn't what you were asking, sorry. And as I say, please
I think
let us
Stephen
know.
he was more concerned about our wine and beer bill for the month being our main expense.
Oh, I can't disclose that.
We get it €2 a litre at the local bodega for the wine. Take your own thing and decant it from the big things. We took you there one day. So yeah, any questions again about that? You know, we're always happy to answer any questions that people have. It helps keep things interested. Perhaps, we don't know. So in the meantime, we need to carry on cracking on.
Crack on.
There it is, it's about there, 1,000 litres, 35 minutes that took. That's not too bad. The filter's still remarkably clean. Fantastic, happy days.
Well, another day done at the finca. It's not been as successful as we had hoped.
Feel like we're going around in circles, not achieved much at all.
A bit of this, bit of that, bit of the other, and we're still waiting on the camera, which we had hoped would be here today.
Yeah, it's unlikely now, but yeah, Spanish delivery services, this is what it's like. Yeah. No phone call, no contact, nothing. They say it could be delivered up to 8 o'clock, but usually after 6ish, that's it.
So
not to worry.
We live in hope for tomorrow.
Tomorrow we've got Eddie the Digger coming.
Yes, we have.
Sharon's going to get back on that floor. Oh, you're going shopping actually, aren't you, as well?
I need to do a few special bits of shopping that unfortunately I can't get locally, so I'm going to go back down to where we came from originally and do a bit of shopping down there.
And hopefully pick up a generator.
And hopefully pick up a generator,
Another backup generator.
A friend of ours kindly offered. He said it's been in the back of his garage for goodness knows how long, so did we want it? We said yes please, always handy. So I'll go and collect that. So
it's unlikely they're going to be getting on with the floor tomorrow.
No.
But yeah, Eddie's coming. We're going to dig some more trenches for our veg because we haven't got enough. So yeah, and I'm gonna leave that expansion tank overnight now, so it's set properly again, and get that fitted in the morning, so we can get. It would have been ideal today because it's been a bit cloudy to get it proper topped up again. As we've said before, you don't want to put cold water into your hot water collector in case you crack the collector tubes. Absolutely. Which are made of glass. So yeah, we hope you've enjoyed the video. We've tried to help out. We've answered a few questions that people have asked. It's always nice to get questions as well. So when we have days that we don't get a lot, we can address these things. Yeah. And
as we said earlier, if there is anything that we've missed or we've got totally the wrong end of the stick from what you were really asking, then please do let us know.
Always. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing and the little red button below. And thanks to everyone for watching. Thanks to all the subscribers. Thanks so much to all the people that have supported us. We'll be back tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow.